Whitney here with Eyes on the Game, and I'm here being joined by UFC welterweight contender Stephen Thompson. Now, you are having your anticipated rematch with Tyron Woodley at UFC 209. First off, have you made any adjustments in your camp leading into this next fight with him?
Of course, going back and watching the last fight with Tyron, with my coaches, we've gone back, looked at some things I haven't done. Maybe I didn't do well during my last fight. We made some changes, so we're going to definitely see a different Stephen Wonderboy Thompson when we step out there March 4th.
Now, what have you been honing on this time around?
Kind of just honing on everything. Obviously, my takedown defense, not being lazy out there. He ended up catching a lazy kick, ended up getting me down in the first round. So just being more explosive, being on point, on edge every step of the way, all 5 rounds. So, you get out there and be distracted 1 second, and your opponent can take advantage of that and end up winning the round. So.
Now, the last fight, when they first announced that Tyron defended his belt and then said, oh, wait, it's a majority draw, what kind of went on through your mind when you heard that?
It was it all happened fairly quick, and I knew once I heard that, I was like, wait a second, I know I won 3 rounds of the 5 rounds. I felt I won the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th round. But as soon as I turned around, Danny White was right there to say, hey, listen, hold up, stay right here. It was a draw. So it didn't give me a whole lot of time to really think about what was going on. So it made it a little bit easier for me, while I was up there to kind of get a beat on things. And of course, it was such a crazy night. The fans and everybody were great, and it ended up being a draw. So all I can do is go from there and train as hard as I can to hopefully in the judges' eyes and not leave it up to them.
Now, were you kind of excited in a way knowing that, hey, if it is a draw, there's more likely a chance of a rematch like what's going on now?
Oh, definitely. That was the first thing that went through my head. And, I wasn't, obviously it wasn't a win. And since it wasn't a win, I was very disappointed. So that kind of fuels me to get back in the gym, train as hard as I can for this fight coming up. I think the first fight kind of promotes itself. It was we got fight of the night, and it's going to be that much better this second go round.
And I know during that fight, a lot of people were surprised. They thought you were almost going to be submitted, and you came out and really, kind of came back in the fight. So what do you think the judges saw that kind of, gave you guys the draw rather than Tyron the win?
Well, everybody knows he ended up taking me down the first round. Ended up hitting me with a little elbow in the first, kind of held me down, and definitely won the 4th round. He hit me with a big shot. I went down. It was almost I was in one threat after the next. Ended up dropping, got back up to my feet. Next thing I was in a deep guillotine. But you know what? In a fight like that, it was a title fight. I had a lot of people coming in to watch, a lot of fans there. So I actually told myself while I was out there, I'm not tapping. And as soon as I said that, I could feel his arm start to tire out, and that was my chance to escape.
Now, going into the fight March 4th, it seems like kind of this time around, it's more about talking about respect. Tyron, he had a 2-fight win streak before he was out for a year and a half, then fought for the title against Robbie Lawler, and you were on a 7-fight win streak. I mean, do you think that he is being treated unfairly?
I don't think so at all. I mean, that was his choice to wait, for the title shot. There's a lot of things that went on. They asked him to do, and he turns it down. And to me, I just don't see it. I don't see it. But I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the fight at hand and preparing for it. So.
And what do you have to say to Tyron about kind of making those remarks?
You know what? Just focus on the fight. Just focus on the fight. If you're distracted, especially with those other things, you're not going to train as hard as you can, and that's what I want March 4th is the best Tyron Woodley. So I don't want him to have any distractions. Just focus on the fight, and let's do it.
And do you think he respects you, though?
You know what? I think so. Of course, obviously hyping the fight up is part of the job. I've always been a respectful guy to my opponent and had more respect for him after the fight as well. I think he has more respect for me after the fight as well. So, yeah, man, just excited to step back out there.
And what Stephen Thompson should we all expect on March 4th?
Well, I don't like going out and predicting a knockout or anything. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But expect to see some fireworks with my hand raised at the very end.